Spirit Sports Consultants presents
Week 17, these are updated game picks. We're also going to do our viewer pick of the week. We've identified one game, in this case our featured matchup, Packers and Vikings. We want you to vote. This game is so close. We're going to present sides for both. Hit us up in the comments of the team you think will win. Now on to the picks. Seahawks at the Bears. The Seahawks, that tough defeat to Minnesota, came down to the final play late. Geno Smith with the interception that sealed it for the Vikings. Then the Bears with that tough game against Detroit, really showing that they're no match for the Lions. We thought they'd play a lot better this year than they have. It's been kind of a rebuilding season for the Bears, but the Seahawks have an opportunity still alive in the NFC West race. They're going to have to win out. We like them here 24-20 over the Bears. Then they have to go to face the Rams to win that game to have any chance to win the NFC West. Titans at the Jaguars. We have to view this game as more about draft positioning than anything else, as these teams are clearly rebuilding for the 2025 season. We're going to have, we think, Mason Rudolph going up against Mac Jones. Mason Rudolph is a slight improvement over Will Levis, but again, in this game in Week 16, 3 interceptions. There must be something the offense is doing wrong in general. Can't necessarily blame on the quarterback. On the other side of the Jaguars, Mac Jones has been inconsistent, showed more life than even what Trevor Lawrence was putting out there. When we look at this game, we would not pick this. We would not bet this because we don't know if these two teams are really trying or they're worried about draft positioning, but we're going to lean towards Duval here. Take the home team 24-21 over the visiting Titans. And before we continue, if you would, just join our channel, and if you like this video or find it useful, like it and then subscribe. We provide weekly NFL picks, highlights, and sports travel. Thank you. Jets at the Bills. This is updated after the Kansas City-Pittsburgh game with the Chiefs' victory over the Steelers. If they hadn't before, the Chiefs have secured the 1 spot, meaning the Bills are more or less locked into the 2. We think the Ravens could potentially catch them, and they would on the tiebreak, but we think the Bills are pretty much in there too. We still think they're going to play their starters. We like them beating the Jets here 31-17. Dolphins at the Browns. Browns and Dolphins both effectively eliminated. The Dolphins have a mathematical shot, and we like their performance against the 49ers. That may have been more about the 49ers just not having it this year, being sluggish and all that. But Tua has definitely been a spark to this offense since coming back from that concussion. We think it's been hit or miss. We look at this game. We're going to give you a conditional pick. We know it sounds weak. We like the Dolphins here 24-17, but watch that weather. You guys get tired of me talking about weather. Dolphins don't play well in the snow, so if we have any bad weather, snow, wind, take this pick off. But if all things being equal, we like the Dolphins here 24-17 over the Browns. Raiders at the Saints. We're just not sure what the Raiders were thinking winning the game over the Jags, but costing them. We think they dropped from 2nd all the way to 7th in draft order. We know integrity of the game, you want to win, and we hope Antonio Pierce is back. We think he deserves another full season. But these types of games, there's no point. And for that reason, we think the Saints will take this one, a close one. They similarly have nothing really to play for. A lot of teams at the bottom, and they are one of them. So we think the Saints in the Superdome, 21-20. Chargers at the Patriots. Chargers with that great game on Thursday night. A tale of two halves as they came back. Really, it all started with that, what do they call it, a fair catch free kick. Really got them going in the second half over the Broncos. The Patriots, again, with a great first half against the Buffalo Bills, who were clearly having what we call a letdown game, not really taking the Patriots seriously. We think the Chargers will win a tough-fought game all the way out in Foxborough. They got to go cross-country for this one, so we don't think it's going to be one-sided affair. We think they will take care of business. They got to make sure they maintain that playoff positioning. We like them here 21-17 over the Pats. Colts at the Giants. The Colts still have a mathematical chance to make the playoffs, we believe. We'll have to check the playoff picture in the standings, but they look really good against the Titans, or maybe it was just the Titans with those 3 interceptions. We're not entirely sure. Anthony Richardson can be puzzling. He can be great running and passing for touchdowns, but then he can hit you with a couple interceptions. But in this game, we have to think the Giants are really going to be playing for next year. We don't think they're going to give the Colts much of a challenge. We think the Colts are the better team anyway, but we'd like the Colts here 27-14 at the Meadowlands over the Giants. And now our viewer pick game of the week, the Packers at the Vikings. We gave our pick earlier. We picked the Packers, got a lot of grief from Vikings fans. But our point in that selection was these teams are so even, we're going to present sides for both of them. And then if you guys can hit us up in the comments with your vote, we'll go over the results next week. So for the Vikings, you can't ignore that 13-2 record, currently tied with the Lions for the NFC North lead. They did beat Green Bay in the earlier game, 31-29. They have Justin Jefferson, who we think is the best receiver in the game. And then you can't deny that Kevin O'Connell should be considered for Coach of the Year. Great job he's done this season. And the case for the Packers, we want to start out with Jordan Love's finally healthy. The earlier matchup was recovering from that knee injury, wasn't quite himself. Jair Alexander is a question mark if he is back healthy. He could limit Justin Jefferson just a little bit. And the key analysis here, why we lean towards Green Bay, the advantage against the similar opponents they faced this season. Example 1, LA Rams, they beat LA. Vikings lost to the Cardinals. They destroyed them, won by 20. Vikings only won by 1. Seattle, they beat them by over 20. Vikings only won by 3. And we don't list it here, but the 49ers, the Packers won by over 20. The Vikings won by 6. That gives you an idea of relative strength going against similar opponents, and they were both road and home were the same as well in all those games. So that tells us that the Packers are a little bit better. Vikings, again, have home field advantage this game, so it's close. So hit us up in the comments with your vote. On the one hand, the Lions caught a break with the Eagles losing. Now they have a one-game lead over the Eagles, but they still can't shake the Vikings, who remain tied with them for the tops of the NFC North. They've got it by tiebreaker, but with 2 games left, they clearly can't let up. And in this rematch of last year's championship game, 49ers may not be the same team they were last year. They could still give the Lions some trouble. We think the Lions will be serious, take care of business here. We'd like them here 31-21. They know they can't let up with the Vikings tied with them. They know this is this year, their year. They've got to get home field if they have any chance to go deep in the playoffs, in our opinion. Broncos at the Bengals. The Broncos are fairly safe in their playoff positioning, and the Bengals still have some remote shot to get in. We don't think they will. It's pretty much going to be the Broncos and Chargers at the 6 and 7 in some order. But the Broncos, we have to worry a little bit about Bo Nix. We noticed in the play calling they weren't throwing anything down the field. You notice there were a bunch of screens, a bunch of short passes, whereas Joey B and the Bengals offense, a lot of downfield throws. We think that they're going to take advantage of that aggressive Broncos defense, who may be able to cover Jamar Chase with Patrick Surtain, but can they cover the rest of the Bengals receivers and account for Joey B's accuracy? We like the Bengals here 28-21 in Cincy. Cowboys at the Eagles. This is a game you might want to do an opportunity play. Currently, the line is Eagles -9.5, -9. You can get it like that. If it's going to be Cooper Rush versus Kenny Pickett, are the Eagles really effectively 10 points better than the Cowboys? Not the way that defense has been playing. We don't think so. We think shut down the pass, really been better against the run. We think it's going to be closer than that, so you can put a bet on, get Cowboys +10, take that, and wait for the news about Jalen Hurts. Panthers at the Bucks. Went back and rewatched the Sunday night game, and what an unlucky game for the Bucks. 2 58-yard field goals by the Cowboys. That kicker is unreal. 2 plays like this where the ball was literally taken away from the receiver / running back. Had one in the end zone, went for an interception. Could have been a touchdown. We think the Bucks bounce back here over the Panthers, 31-21. And speaking of the NFC South, the Falcons are right there in the race thanks to a nice rookie debut of Michael Penix Jr., who didn't put up great stats but also didn't make the critical mistake, which is the problem that Kirk Cousins has had all year. On the other side, the Commanders with that thrilling victory over the Eagles with that last-minute touchdown by Jaden Daniels. We've been on the Jaden Daniels bandwagon all season. We actually thought early on, we said before the season, he was the top quarterback in our book in the 2024 draft. We like the Commanders here 28-21. We're really curious to see what damage they can do once they get into the playoffs. And the Cardinals of the Rams becomes a play-in opportunity for the Rams. With a victory here, they clinch the NFC West, hoping to avoid a Week 18 showdown with the Seahawks, with a loss here and a Seahawks victory would create. So we look at the Rams team. While they've been sensational in the second half of the year, the offensive weapons have been known. You've got Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, and of course Matthew Stafford, the ageless wonder at quarterback. But that defense has really been playing outstanding. Held down the 49ers, held down the Jets. They beat Buffalo, even though they allowed, 42 points, so you can't give them too much credit there. But we like them here over the Cardinals, at home especially, 24-17 as they head towards the playoffs.
That's all for this time. Thank you for joining. Please subscribe to our channel, and we look forward to sharing our future videos with you.